morning. The sun is getting really bright. We're having morning coffee and questions with Dakota. So this question today comes from Marisse. How did you know that how did you know your life purpose, and how did you get on the path to living up to it? What were some of your struggles along the way, and how do you remain loyal to your higher path? Wow. Well, Marisse, that may be a longer answer than what I normally do for my coffee, so I'm going to try to condense it for you. How did I know my life purpose? Well, I don't know that starting out I really did, because I began this path. I began this path back in 1991-ish. But really, I'd been on the path. If I look at it in retrospect, I've been on the path all my life. And there was a pivotal moment back in my early 20s where I went through a really, really hard, dark night of the soul. And out of that pain, I landed myself in Arizona as a way to save myself. And that's like the short version of a very long story that I won't get into today. But that path that led me there was really, it was a path back to finding out who I was, who I am. And at one point, I remember being in the desert. I was doing a hike, and I was really loving where I was. It was so beautiful. It was middle of the week. I was hiking in the Superstition Mountains, and I just had this realization that my life purpose was not about the job that I was going to hold. It was about the life I wanted to live. And right then and there I decided, okay, what kind of life do I want? And then I worked backwards from there. So I decided, I didn't want to work weekends. I didn't want to work evenings. I didn't want to work on my birthday. We're dwindling down, like, when are you going to actually work, Dakota? And I wanted to be outside. I wanted to enjoy, where I lived. I wanted to enjoy the relationships in my life. And so I made this whole list of everything that I wanted in my life, the qualities. And then I looked at it to see what job could I find that would support all of those qualities. And then that's how I kind of, stepped into what I was doing at that point. And there were a lot of struggles along the way. It was, trying to reconcile, not only the jobs, the relationships, where I lived, the spiritual path, but it was, bringing it all together in a way that made sense. And that really was the pivotal time in my life when I really started to see and witness how this marriage of these 4 different quadrants of my life needed to be enmeshed enough to where my sacred purpose was how I lived, and it wasn't just segmented into what I did for a living or anything else, but that all those areas came together. And so that's what I teach now in the medicine wheel teachings. The mentorship is how to bring all those areas of our life together to live more integrated, to be more complete and whole and connected. And so it has been, all my life has been a beautiful process for that. And, as far as how do I remain loyal to my higher path, I don't know any other way than to be loyal to my higher path. Because when I am truly living from that heart-centered soul space, everything in my life flows. I'm going with the current. I'm not swimming upstream. And that makes it very easy to be loyal to my higher path. I have watched people over the years go through so many struggles, and struggles in finding what is that sacred purpose, or they may have one piece of it together. They love their work, they are married to the work, but their relationships are falling apart, or they live in a place that they don't love, or they're doing what they love, but their work environment doesn't support their ability to be creative or to expand. So I've watched this with people over and over and over and over, and then to be able to work with them, you know, especially through the mentorship, because that's it's very in depth and it's very deep, and to watch them go through these directions and one by one really start to bring that balance into their life, and then you start to see that soul inside of them begin to shine. It is that, to me, is the most beautiful, beautiful expression ever that I could ever imagine witnessing. And it is so honoring. I wish that I wish everybody could just step into my shoes for one day and see how I see others when they go through that process. Because talk about a miracle, talk about inspiring, you know, to see somebody unbury themselves from all the fears and the blocks, and to really step up and to be more authentic and to be more truthful and to be more compassionate towards themselves and towards others. And that is the fuel for me to continue doing what I do. And as long as I see that, as long as I am a witness to that, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am following my sacred purpose, my higher path, and I am honoring that. So I feel very blessed. And I think I know you personally, so this is a question from somebody that I know. And I feel, just in witnessing your own unfolding, that you are you're on the precipice of that threshold of really stepping into that knowing. And when you do, you're going to have a conversation with me that says, wow, you weren't kidding. So I look forward to that day. All right, thanks, Marisse. And I'll see you guys in the next coffee.